Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful recap is finally in for Monday, September 1st, 2025. In today's episode, Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, confides in Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Meanwhile, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, and Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, have their first time. Will and Electra continue smooching at the guest house. The young lady doesn't want to rush. Nothing is going to spoil tonight. Will flashes back to the mystery girl. The girl finally drops her clothes, and Will promises to do everything to be deserving of her. After the deed, Electra says it was even better than she imagined. Will agrees it was worth waiting for. The young man thinks about the mystery girl, then tells Electra he will always love her. At Forrester Creations, Beth Spencer, Jordan Grace, asks for a pizza picnic. Liam Spencer Scott Clifton agrees that it's a date. While Hope and Beth go off to look at dresses, Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and Liam chat. Carter is glad that Liam is okay. They were all praying for him. The recovered patient says he is sticking around. They talk about love and holding it close. Carter mentions that is what he's going to be doing with Hope. The engagement is brought up. Carter says there's no need to wait, then struts out the door. Beth is pretending to be a model when Ivy shows up. While Beth is occupied, Ivy talks to Hope about Liam. The brunette remembers a time when Lopi were so close. Ivy wishes she could be with Liam, but all he wants is Hope. The jewelry designer knows Hope and Carter are engaged, but maybe Liam deserves a second chance. After Ivy exits, Liam returns to harass Hope at work some more. The blonde wants to know what Carter and Liam talked about. The recovered man says they talked about never letting the ones you love go. Hope looks awkward. Hope and Beth are his family forever, the man says. Sheila Carter Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, warns Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, that she is going to end up back in prison. Will doesn't even know she's alive or that she exists. Sheila begs her granddaughter to see how much Will loves Electra. Will won't forget our special night, Luna says. Sheila brings up that Will and Electra are having their first time tonight. Darn it, Sheila. You need to keep your mouth shut. They continue debating about Will. Sheila warns that even if she escapes prison, she will need to escape Los Angeles too. However, the delusional girl is sure that she will have Will once he realizes it was her in the bed with him. The day began at Forrester Creations with the usual whirl of fashion chaos and personal drama, but Monday's episode promised twists that would shake both the hearts and minds of the Forrester and Spencer families. At the heart of today's storylines were the deepening bonds of friendship and unexpected passion, with sparks flying in places both comforting and scandalous. The episode opened with a rare calm at Forrester Creations' design studio. Hope Logan was sipping her usual cup of coffee while meticulously reviewing sketches for the upcoming runway show. She was focused, as always, but there was a softness in her eyes today, a glimmer that suggested she was ready to let someone in. Ivy Forrester entered the studio, balancing a stack of fabrics and accessories. Unlike her usual confident stride, Ivy seemed slightly nervous, unsure if Hope would welcome her presence after their sometimes prickly interactions in the past. But as their eyes met, a surprising warmth emerged. "Morning, Hope," Ivy said, tentatively. Hope smiled, a genuine, reassuring smile that immediately put Ivy at ease. "Morning, Ivy. You're just in time. Want to help me pick colors for the new line?" The collaboration was simple on the surface, matching fabric swatches, considering textures, and discussing potential runway arrangements. But underneath, something deeper was unfolding. As they worked side by side, they shared stories of past, mistakes and triumphs, vulnerabilities that neither had revealed so openly before. Ivy admitted to feeling overshadowed by the Forrester name and by her own past missteps in love. Hope, in turn, revealed her fears of repeating past heartbreaks and the pressure of always having to be perfect. particularly for Liam and her family. There was laughter, gentle teasing, and even a moment where their hands brushed while sorting fabric samples. It was electric in a subtle, comforting way. A moment of connection that felt rare in the cutthroat world of fashion and family drama. By mid-morning, they were no longer just designer colleagues or distant acquaintances. They were allies. Hope confided in Ivy about her struggles with balancing her career and personal life, and Ivy, surprisingly, offered insightful advice that showed a wisdom beyond her years. For once, the Forrester studio felt like a sanctuary rather than a battleground. Meanwhile, across town at the Spencer mansion, passion was brewing. Will Spencer, still navigating the emotional turbulence of his complicated past, found himself drawn into a whirlwind of desire with Electra. The chemistry between them was undeniable, and today's episode made it impossible to ignore. The scene opened with Will reviewing documents for his legal studies, Electra lounging nearby with a playful smirk that suggested she had more on her mind than academic pursuits. Their eyes met across the room, and in that instant, the tension was palpable. "I think you're avoiding the real work," Electra teased, stepping closer. "I'm very focused," Will replied, though the heat in his tone betrayed him. Electra's hand brushed his arm, and the subtle touch sent a shiver through him. The conversation escalated quickly from playful banter to something more intimate. Will, usually so cautious and reserved, allowed himself to be vulnerable in Electra's presence. By mid-afternoon, they were in the privacy of Will's room, and the atmosphere was thick with unspoken desires. Their dialogue was filled with longing, confessions, and teasing admissions of mutual attraction. Will admitted he'd been drawn to Electra's confidence and unpredictability, while Electra confessed she was captivated by his sincerity and charm. The passion between them was electric, but complicated. Will's family dynamics, including the ever-watchful eyes of Liam and Hope, meant that any public acknowledgement of their relationship would spark tension. Yet in this private moment, none of that mattered. Their connection was a fiery escape from the pressures of their respective worlds. While Will and Electra explored the depths of desire, Ivy and Hope were taking emotional leaps of their own, but of a different sort. The afternoon brought an intense brainstorming session for the upcoming fashion show. Amid the creative chaos, Ivy found herself sharing a story she had never told anyone, a moment from her past where she felt utterly rejected and humiliated. Hope listened with unwavering attention, her empathy shining through. She reached out, placing a reassuring hand on Ivy's shoulder. "You've come so far, Ivy. Don't let anyone make you feel less than the amazing woman you are," Hope said softly. Ivy's eyes welled up, not from sadness, but from relief. She had been carrying the weight of her insecurities for far too long, and in that simple, genuine gesture, she felt seen. Hope smiled, and for the first time in a long while, Ivy felt a sense of belonging, a reminder that she didn't have to face her challenges alone. The two women shared a long, meaningful hug, sealing a bond that promised to become one of the most significant friendships in the Forrester universe. Their laughter returned, light and freeing, breaking the tension of the day and reminding viewers that amidst the turmoil, hope and connection could flourish. Meanwhile, the scene cut back to Will and Electra. Their chemistry had reached a fever pitch. The dialogue was loaded with passion and emotion as they moved closer, each word a mix of confession and desire. Electra, always bold and fearless, pressed the boundaries further, and Will, for once, let go of his usual caution. Their interaction wasn't merely physical, it was transformative. Will's vulnerability combined with Electra's assertiveness created a dynamic that neither could resist. Their stolen moments were a potent mix of tenderness and intensity, leaving viewers both captivated and slightly scandalized. As the scene drew to a close, they paused, catching their breath and sharing a lingering, charged look. It was clear that this liaison would have lasting repercussions, not just for them, but for everyone in the Spencer orbit. The genius of this episode lay in the contrast between the two main storylines. On one hand, Ivy and Hope's connection was gentle, nurturing, and built on trust. On the other, Will and Electra's passion was wild, unpredictable, and fraught with risk. The writers masterfully juxtaposed emotional intimacy with fiery attraction, showcasing the spectrum of human connection. Hope and Ivy's storyline provided a sense of stability and hope, pun intended. Their dialogue was heartfelt and authentic, a reminder that sometimes the strongest bonds are formed not in grand gestures, but in small acts of listening and understanding. Will and Electra, conversely, reminded viewers that desire is a powerful force that can upend lives in an instant. Their chemistry crackled off-screen, emphasizing how forbidden or risky romance can feel intoxicating, precisely because of its potential consequences. Even minor characters contributed significantly to the episode's depth. Steffi appeared briefly, at Forrester Creations, observing Ivy and Hope from a distance, a subtle reminder that rivalries and alliances are never far from the surface. She gave a knowing smirk, perhaps sensing the shifting dynamics but keeping her own counsel. At the Spencer mansion, Liam was seen entering Will's study briefly, noticing the unusual closeness between Will and Electra. His furrowed brow suggested concern, foreshadowing future confrontations and adding another layer of tension to the unfolding drama. These small moments served as gentle teasers for the complex web of relationships about to entangle both families. The episode expertly balanced main storylines with these minor yet meaningful glimpses into other characters' perspectives. By late afternoon, the focus returned to Forrester Creations. Ivy and Hope finalized designs for the runway show, each decision infused with newfound confidence and solidarity. Their dialogue reflected not only professional collaboration, but emotional bonding that hinted at a lasting friendship. Perhaps one that could rival even the most storied alliances in the Forrester family. As the camera panned across the studio, viewers saw sketches, fabric swatches, and mood boards, a visual representation of creativity and ambition. But beyond the aesthetics, the heart of the scene was the human connection between Ivy and Hope. It was subtle, quiet, yet profound, a reminder that amidst the high-stakes world of fashion, personal bonds often make the most lasting impact. The episode closed with a split screen of the two central duos. Ivy and Hope were still in the studio, laughing over a shared memory, a soft light illuminating their faces. Across town, Will and Electra sat in a tense yet blissful embrace, the night wrapping them in secrecy and desire. The contrast was striking, one scene of trust and emotional connection, the other of passion and risky intimacy. Both stories hinted at challenges ahead, yet offered viewers the tantalizing promise of deepening relationships, one through friendship and understanding, the other through the fiery pull of attraction. The final moments lingered on Ivy's thoughtful expression, Hope's reassuring smile, Will's conflicted look, and Electra's daring grin. It was a perfect setup for the week ahead, leaving audiences hungry for what would come next. Emotional confrontations, unexpected alliances, and the ever-present tension between love, loyalty, and temptation. Monday, September 1st, was a masterclass in storytelling for the bold and the beautiful. By weaving together Ivy and Hope's tender emotional connection with Will and Electra's sizzling passion, the episode explored the full spectrum of relationships. It reminded viewers that human connection comes in many forms, sometimes in laughter and empathy, sometimes in desire and risk. As the week progresses, the impact of today's moments will ripple across both Forrester Creations and the Spencer family, promising drama, intrigue, and plenty of heart-stopping twists. Fans will undoubtedly be talking about these dual storylines for days, eagerly anticipating how friendships will strengthen, passions will ignite, and secrets will inevitably come to light. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Beautiful Update YouTube channel for more update news.